Hi guys, Arthur here from Homeowner DIY. Guys, this is your quick tip of the week. So this toilet was loose, so we have a flange here. So they cut it out really badly. So it's sitting on the floor here. But what they actually did was whoever did this put like a mortar or something. That's not concrete. So they hit it in a bunch of spots. It's cracked right here, but the flange is sitting on the floor over here. We easily have 3/4 of an inch gap here. So they used the wrong product to pin this flange down. It looks like mortar, not concrete, and then they didn't even cut this out all that well. So what I'm gonna have to do is get some long screws. I'm going to cut this out with a grinder and then try to pin the flange down to the actual material using long screws, like 3¼ inch screws, and go back into actual concrete. So for a material list, I have Tapcon screws. So these are 3¼ by 1/4 inch. So these are about twice as long as the previous. But for material, this is all I need. So what we'll do now is a tools list. Alright, this is the tools list. So to start off, I have my Bosch Bulldog Extreme hammer drill. Guys, use an actual hammer drill opposed to a cordless drill. I have a light 3/16 concrete drill bit for safety equipment, earplugs, safety glasses, respirator. I have my pouch, so flathead screwdriver, hammer, measuring tape, cordless drill, grinder, and I also do have my cordless kits in case I need anything else. So guys, this is what I need for tools on this job. What we're going to quickly do is look at our hammer drill. Alright, so this is my hammer drill. So this is a Bosch Bulldog Extreme. So this hammer drill is meant for actual concrete. Guys, when you use a cordless drill, it has a hammer setting. It just doesn't work all that well. So one other thing to notice about this hammer drill, it has, the ends are different from a regular bit, but as you can see here, the different types of accessories that you can get with one of these drills. But guys, when it comes to drilling concrete, this thing here will drill something in 45 seconds. A cordless drill can take 5 minutes and you're gonna be killing your batteries. So if you don't have a hammer drill or you don't need the need to actually buy one, just rent one. But to sit there with a cordless drill for very small holes even, it takes too long. And as soon as you get into something bigger, you're gonna need one of these because a cordless drill won't cut it. I'm going to start by cutting out the floor for the flange. So I'm using a grinder with a fiber blade for metal. Now this will produce smoke, so I've turned on the bath fan to get rid of the smoke. Now with a fiber blade, when you hit concrete, it's going to start to break apart, but in this case, a fiber blade is more than enough for what you need to do to cut out the flooring that was incorrectly cut before. Once I've made it most of the way through or all the way through, I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver and a hammer, and I'm just going to break on the cut line to remove the sections of floor that need to be removed so the flange will sit flat. So after talking to the homeowner, I believe what happened was that self-leveling concrete was used to level out the floor, and when they used the Tapcon screws to screw the flange down to the floor, it didn't go through the self-leveling. So the takeaway from this job is self-leveling concrete is not strong enough to secure a toilet flange down to. With the flooring removed, I'm now going to take a hammer and I'm going to tap down the lead stub so the flange will sit on top of the lead stub that has been bent down and around. If you leave it, then it's going to prop the flange up and you're going to have a gap between the flange and the floor. Now I'm taking a light to confirm the condition of the lead stub, that it's still fine, it has no cracks or breaks or anything that can cause problems later on. Now I'm measuring from the center of pipe to the wall. So the slots on the left and right for the T-bolts, you want the T-bolts to sit roughly in the middle of the slot. That's going to give you a little bit of play back and forth for when you put your toilet down. For a standard toilet, it should be between 12 and 12.5 inches from the middle of the pipe to the wall. To set the depth, this drill has a rod, but if you don't, just use a piece of tape and make sure you give an extra 1/4 inch longer than the screw itself. When drilling the holes, make sure you have earplugs and safety glasses on. A respirator doesn't hurt. I would say drill maybe 2 of the holes first, get the screws in, and then drill the other 2. If you do it this way, then the screw will hold the flange in place instead of it wobbling around when you're trying to drill the other holes, which may be off. The head for these screws is a number 3 Phillips. Make sure that you're on maximum torque setting and low speed, and go carefully. If you go too aggressively trying to screw the screws in, you can snap them, which I've done many times over the years using this product. On this install, I managed to get 3 out of the 4 screws down. I had to cut the bottom left one. I had an issue where I couldn't get it to go, and this is the second screw that I tried and I couldn't get it to go, but 3 out of 4 is more than enough. What I wound up doing is using a grinder to cut the screw down flush. Once all the screws are in place, grab a flathead and pry up on the flange all the way around to make sure it's nice and tight. If you have to tighten the screws up a little bit, go ahead and do that now, but make sure that the flange is nice and solid. Alright, so the complaint for this toilet that it was loose, and that's because the concrete screws weren't pinned into anything. So I cut the flooring back. The flange is now flush on the floor. It's level all the way around. It's secured to the floor, so it's not going to go anywhere. But in this case, because they use self-leveling concrete and the screws were too short, the flange wasn't attached to anything. But guys, this is your simple fix to this problem. Guys, that is your quick tip of the week.